Celebrities do some really bad things, and sometimes because of their celebrity status, they seem to be above the law and don't get punished for actions most everyday people would. That's why today on the channel, I'm going to be exposing the celebrities that should be in jail. I'm Mackenzie, and make sure to subscribe if you're new here. In at number 10, Dr. Phil. Danielle Bregoli, aka Bad Baby, is using her platform to call out the person who gave her that 15 minutes of fame, Dr. Phil. Bregoli posted a bombshell video to her YouTube channel on March 19th, discussing the terrible treatment she endured while at the Turnabout Ranch. This was a ranch that Dr. Phil sent Bregoli to following her viral interview where Bregoli was a rebellious teenager. The video starts with kind of an ultimatum for Dr. Phil, where she gives him until April 5th to issue a public apology to every child he sent to Turnabout and other rehabilitation centers. Then she discusses her story, saying when she was brought to the ranch, she was not allowed to shower for the first 3 days. They would also punish and ridicule the attendants for the smallest reason, and Danielle even recounts that someone killed one of the employees while she was there. There aren't any cameras at the ranch, so it's often the staff's words against the words of the kids, who are seen as troubled youths. After the video, Dr. Phil addressed her accusations, stating that he has no control over what happens at the ranch, and if there were any wrongdoings, her family should have filed a complaint with the ranch years ago. And even though Danielle was brought to the ranch because of Dr. Phil's show, he didn't take any accountability for all the terrible stories that have come out. In at number 9, Amber Heard. As more evidence comes out about the relationship between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, it's becoming clear that there is way more to the story than the public knew. And Amber has not been truthful about her allegations against Johnny. During the course of their messy divorce, it was revealed the people who supported Amber changed their sides. Amber pooped in their bed, and most recently body cam footage showed that Johnny did not trash their apartment the night they broke up in 2016. The general consensus around Amber is so bad that there was even a massive Change.org petition started to get Amber fired from Aquaman 2. However, the public's efforts were not successful, and she confirmed that she will be shooting the movie very soon. And at number 8, Marilyn Manson. Actress Evan Rachel Wood bravely posted to her Instagram on February 1st, exposing that she had been abused by Marilyn Manson. In the long statement, she said that he started engaging with her when she was only a teenager, and she was, quote, brainwashed and manipulated into submission. Adding, quote, "I am done living in fear of retaliation, slander, or blackmail. I'm here to expose this dangerous man and call out the many industries that have enabled him before he ruins any more lives." Concluding her statement saying, "I will stand with the many victims who will no longer be silent." Wood, who is 33, met Manson when she was 18 and he was 36 back in 2007. They later got engaged in 2010 for 8 months until the relationship ended. Her statement on Instagram came as 4 other women had recently come forward with allegations against Manson. All of the allegations from the women are very similar, showing a pattern of disturbing allegations, and hopefully legal justice will be served. In at number 7, Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer has been exposed for heinous and disturbing crimes, and if he did commit these crimes, he needs to be in jail. Armie came from massive amounts of wealth and privilege and was on his way to becoming a well-respected actor, but recently multiple women have come forward with disturbing allegations against Hammer, with many women expressing that he had scary fetishes and many times he would take things too far during intimate acts. There were even allegations surfacing that he may be a The story got even darker recently when a woman came forward in a video press conference expressing that he forced himself on her for over 4 hours. Apparently, during the incident, he slammed her head into a wall and whipped her feet with a crop too, with her stating that she did not consent to any of these actions. As a result of the first string of allegations, Armie has stepped away from an upcoming film with Jennifer Lopez called Shotgun Wedding. As well, any project he was due to be a part of has cut him. With the seriousness of these allegations, he could very well be getting jail time for his actions. In at number 6, Shia LaBeouf. FKA Twigs recently exposed that she endured a toxic and abusive relationship with Shia LaBeouf. She later decided to sue him for his harmful and manipulative actions, unearthing tons of stories where LaBeouf was toxic, reckless, and even put her life in danger. Barnett told Louis Theroux's podcast that she felt, quote, scared and intimidated and controlled by LaBeouf. And she, quote, wasn't allowed to look men in the eye. Apparently, he started off love bombing her and being very affectionate, but as time went on, he got more controlling. She said that she gradually became aware of him becoming more, quote, jealous and controlling, saying she couldn't even be nice to a waiter without him accusing her of flirting. Adding, quote, "I was told that I knew what he was like, and if I loved him, I wouldn't look men in the eye. So that was my reality for a good 4 months towards the ends of the relationship. She eventually had the courage to leave, and she's now hoping she gets justice for the terrible treatment that he put her through. Halfway at number 5, David Letterman. David Letterman isn't a person who should actually be in jail, but he should definitely be held accountable for his actions. Several old interview clips of David Letterman's have resurfaced recently, showing very uncomfortable behavior. One example was with Lindsay Lohan in 2013. She did the interview recently out of rehab, and Letterman persistently asked her questions about it. She said that she didn't want to talk about it, but he kept pressing, even leading her to cry. Next up was Janet Jackson. Letterman was pressing her about her infamous Super Bowl incident, asking her questions about how her wardrobe malfunction came to be. Right after she was asked about it, she replied, quote, "I don't want to relive any of that." But Letterman kept asking, while Jackson looked very annoyed. Lastly was an interview with Jennifer Aniston, where Letterman actually tasted a piece of her hair at one point. So clearly very disturbing behavior. And at number 4, James Charles. James Charles has been accused of engaging in inappropriate conversation with boys who are not of age. The current count of the number of allegations is 17. Allegations were coming out for months before James decided to address it in a recent video he called "Holding Myself Accountable." And even though James admitted to doing illegal acts multiple times, he wasn't dropped by sponsors like we've seen with other cancellations of this magnitude. After tons of backlash on social media, makeup brand Morphe just decided to cut ties with James. But by and large, his brand has not been tarnished considerably by his actions. And if James is going to be truly held accountable, he needs to be held to the full extent of the law. And at number 3, the Lopez brothers. Tony and Andreas Lopez shot to fame on TikTok, and were even a part of the TikTok collective, The Hype House. But over the past few years, allegations have come out against both brothers that they engaged in unlawful contact with. The allegations started with multiple people coming forward against Tony. He was even sued in January of 2020 by 2 accusers for emotional and physical distress. And at that point, everyone thought that Andreas was the good brother, until it came out that he had also engaged in these same illegal activities as his brother. Guess it runs in the bloodline. It's unclear if any legal action was taken against Andreas, but there was a TikTok that showed him meeting with the mother of the accuser to discuss what happened. But we don't know what happened after that. And I don't think I have to explain this one, but both of these brothers need to be legally held accountable for what they did. And at number 2, Jake Paul. Jake Paul is probably the YouTuber that most people would agree should be in jail for many reasons. It's such a popular opinion that even fellow celebrity Pete Davidson trash-talked Jake during his own fight night. Pete was hosting the Jake Paul versus Ben Askren fight, and before the fight, Pete went into Askren's dressing room and started trash-talking Jake. Pete spoke about the FBI raid on Jake's house that occurred last summer, as well as the fact that Jake looted an Arizona mall in light of the George Floyd protests. Then after discussing many of Paul's controversial moments, Pete Davidson flat out asked, quote, "Why isn't he in jail?" Adding message to the kids watching that Jake is a piece of. And trust me, Pete Davidson definitely spoke for a lot of people who were watching that night. And finally, at number 1, Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez was accused and arrested for allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot after a night out in July of 2020. But since the incident, it has been a he said, she said, with Lanez denying the allegations. Things got heated January of 2021 when a news outlet reported that the charges against Lanez had been dropped, even though that wasn't true. Meg responded on Twitter by bashing the fake news, saying on Twitter, quote, "My story is not changing and you're going to jail." Nothing much legally has happened since then, but many Megan Thee Stallion fans are excited for justice to be served in this case. And I am definitely one of those people. Alright guys, so that's all for the list. Let me know your thoughts on this one below. But before I go, I'm going to shout out some comments from my video on actors who got exposed. So pretty girl said, Mackenzie looking like she's hosting the Oscars, chef's kiss. A lot of you guys said that about the Oscars. Yeah, so that wasn't even a dress, it was just a shirt, but thank you. It is one of my nicer shirts, that's for sure. Then Andrea said, every time you see Johnny with her in photos, he looks scared. Yeah, we definitely understand why now. And L2J Nichols said, serves Rappaport right. You can't say anything nice and don't say anything at all. Agreed, like if you're gonna trash talk, you need to expect it back, especially from Barstool. Barstool is probably the biggest, trash talking organization ever. So yeah, you can't come after them without them coming back at you. Alright guys, that's all for the video today. Thank you so much for sticking around if you made it all the way here. If you liked the video and want to see some more, make sure to like and sub to the channel below. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith. Make sure to check us out on social media, and I will catch you all in the next one.